Hello everyone, welcome to or back to my channel, MelCabeyVlogs. If you're new here, hi, my name is Mel. I'm an actor, specifically musical theater actor who lives in New York City. I was on the national and international tour of a chorus line. I have done cruise ships, worked in regional theaters, and I'm currently auditioning in the city. So my channel is all about being super transparent about this industry, showing finances, day jobs, what the auditions are actually like, how I get auditions, everything. So if you're interested in all of that with a no BS little fairy thing going over it, I'm very real, subscribe. I think when I was in college and even younger, I had a very different view of what this industry was like because of what I was seeing people on Broadway share, and I just thought it was gonna be, I knew it was gonna be hard, but I didn't realize what actually goes into all of this and what it is like to be in the industry. So I take it as my duty to show a very candid view. So with that being said, I decided to share in this video my non-negotiable maintenance things that I do as a musical theater actor on a rotating basis. I'm constantly doing these things and it is non-negotiable for me. Now, some people may be different. Some people might not do all of these things, but I, number one, hold myself to a very high standard, and I'm just very serious about pursuing this career and having this as my lifestyle. And this is what I think will ultimately help you get to where you need to be. So I have a little list here and we're just gonna go through them. And these are just things that I am constantly doing to book that job, when I'm on the job, everything. Number one is voice lessons. Depending on who your teacher is and what you can afford, I think even once a month is great. I do lessons every single week. So I think that is great just for maintaining your technique, learning new technique, working on things, working on your songs. That's in your audition book, working on material for a dream role, working on material for an upcoming job that you booked. And I think it is just great to have a teacher who knows you and your voice and who you can go to when something comes up. So I think that's super important. And if you follow any bigger Broadway stars like Mary-Kate Morrissey, who was Elphaba, really anyone, they all still take voice lessons every week. It's no matter who you are, it's very important. So I think if that's something, if you're trying to figure out where to invest your money, I think that is a good one. Okay, next, I'm a dancer first. So dance is very important for me. Something that I am always doing is I aim for 3 classes a week. That what type of classes kind of fluctuates. A lot of times I do a ballet, a tap, and a musical theater. Some weeks I do all 3 are musical theater. It definitely ebbs and flows, but yeah, I think just being in class, working that part of your brain is very, very, very important, because when you're in auditions or you're in the rehearsal room, you need to have that part of your brain kept alive. And that is just how you keep the machine running. And then besides your brain, obviously you're working your body. And in musical theater, you're dancing in heels. That's something you just have to constantly do to keep that strength up, to know where your weight is and be able to adapt to choreography when you're on a job and be ready to do that. So I find class extremely important, and beyond just like class being good for the logistics of being a performer, I also think it is a great way to be in community in the city. I am constantly making new friends in class. I have so many class friends, and it just hearing what they're doing and, oh, I got this show, or, oh, are you going to this audition next week? And we all support each other, and it's just, yeah, I think it's a great way to also build community. So that's just a little plus for that. Okay, the third is cross training. Specifically for me, that either looks like physical therapy, Pilates, or any other type of workout. So I sign up for ClassPass and I take Pilates Reformer, and that's kind of my form of physical therapy, just to keep all of those like tiny muscles that hold everything together really strong so they can support me when I'm dancing. And it also just keeps you conditioned and ready to go. I try to go on long walks, even in the winter. Today I'm going to go on like a 2-mile walk. It's like 15 degrees out. But got to keep the heart healthy and my endurance up. And that to me is just a non-negotiable, because your body is literally your job. If you are a musical theater performer, whether you're a dancer or not, you need to be strong and healthy to do this job. Like you have to be ready to go. It takes so much stamina and strength to be on stage doing what we do. So that is a huge non-negotiable for me. I also, to save money, I don't have a gym membership, and I literally have over in my TV stand, I have a bunch of weights, and I do arm and leg circuits with weights every week, and then I go on my long walks and I do the Pilates. And that is how I keep my body nice and strong and ready to go, along with the dance classes. Okay, kind of along with maintaining your instrument, another very, very, very important thing for me that is a non-negotiable is investing in food and meals that are nutritious and are going to support me in what I'm doing as a dancer. A lot of people, when they move to New York, they eat like ramen and peanut butter jelly sandwiches and do what they can to get by. But for me, at least, I know that I perform a lot better mentally and physically if I'm fueling my body appropriately. So I make sure that I have allocated money to making that happen. That is high on my list, and I make sure it happens. And really for me, like, I just try to have healthy fuel, and I really try to focus on protein, which can be a bit more expensive, but that's just non-negotiable. We gotta have protein. If I'm constantly working out, breaking down muscle, I need a way to rebuild it with fuel. I try to have healthy fats and carbohydrates to give me the energy for dance classes and auditions and rehearsal. One thing, like fruits and veggies, I will buy them out whenever I can just to get those in. It's definitely hard, especially as a single person, filling up on groceries, and it can be very expensive. But I look at having well-balanced, healthy meals as a part of maintaining myself as a performer. That is literally a part of my job, to be healthy. So it also helps you not get sick and all of that. It's very important. So that's a non-negotiable. This one is silly, and I was just talking to my mom about it this morning. One thing that is also maintenance as a musical theater performer or just an actor in general is your appearance. And for me, that looks like upkeeping my hair. So I have a very short haircut, and when it gets too long, it's just not it. But this is very much like my calling card. Like, my haircut is my image. So I have to get it cut every 3 to 4 weeks for it to look good and look like my headshot and, be it. And then I also dye my hair, and I pay for a subscription of the hair dye. So that's like an expense, but I need it to look great, and we can't have the roots coming in. We need it to look natural and wonderful. And that's just a part of the image and my career. So unfortunately, I have to spend money on upkeeping my hair. Same with like makeup, always replenishing my makeup. Luckily, I don't have to do that often. I would say like every 4 to 6 months, I'll have to replenish. Like things like taking care of my skin, having a nice face lotion. I don't just use a $5 one from CVS. I invest in nicer products, like things like that. to upkeep my image, because again, that is what I am selling when I go to an audition, is me. So I need to be at the best version of me as I can. And unfortunately, that means investing in looking fabulous. Okay, and then, you know, sadly, this is last on the list, but I always manage to make this happen anyway, and that is rest. And I think 100% that is a non-negotiable when being a musical theater performer. At least for me, I do know some people who can do amazing things on like 4 hours of sleep. I personally need like 9 to thrive, and I know that about myself, so I make sure that I get my sleep. If I have an audition coming up that is very important to me, I will make sure I am well rested and ready to go for that day. Or when I'm in a show, I really, really prioritize sleep. Sometimes if I'll prioritize that over maybe a cross-training workout. If I'm like, oh, I didn't sleep well last night at all, and I plan to do this Pilates class, I will instead sleep in more or take a nap. It's very important. And although the good thing is rest doesn't technically cost you money, however, the more rest you get, the less time you have for other things. So yeah, I think prioritizing that can be tricky for a lot of people, but I know that that is how I'm going to function the best if I'm resting. So that's that. I would love for you guys to comment down below your non-negotiables of things you do to maintain yourself in whatever career you have or lifestyle you have. I'm very curious. And also comment down below any type of sit down chat videos you want me to do, any topics you want to hear me talk about, or things that you want to know, questions. I'm going to try to put out more videos every week, so I would love to know what you guys want to hear. Okay, that's it. I will see you guys next week for another video. All right. Mwah. Make sure you subscribe, click the notification bell so you get little notifications, and also follow my Instagram and TikTok at MelCabey. Yay. Okay. Mwah. Bye.